Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Kamerzel. I teach English at GWU OHS. This is supposed to be live, so I'm going to kind of go off the cuff and just do it. And I'm here to talk to you about Shakespeare and why you shouldn't be afraid of him. Something I've noticed teaching English for the past 15 years is that whenever Shakespeare is mentioned, either they're two polar opposite responses from students. Either they're super excited or they're terrified. And I just want to let you guys know, the terrified ones, that you don't need to be. The title of this little video I'm making is called How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bard. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about. Just a few little tips and tricks to make Shakespeare not so intimidating. And I hope you appreciate the links I went to here. You like my makeshift Elizabethan ruff? Yes. This is a bazillion coffee filters, about an hour of my time, and lots of hole punching. So you too can make your own. That could be another video. First things first, I want to remind you guys not to take Shakespeare so seriously. I know the language is intimidating. I know that he is, when you hear a guy being talked about as like the greatest writer of all time, of course that's going to make you go, okay? But keep in mind, and I have some props here, that this is the man who specializes in insults. So much so that, there are many types of posters, charts like this. Some of my favorites include, where is it? Let's see here. No. Stuffed cloak bag of guts. That's a Shakespeare line. You're a fishmonger. That's not a compliment. Where's my other really favorite one? Thou hast in thy skull no more brain than I have in mine elbows. Oh, it's a burn, right? That's a pretty good burn. Thou dost infect mine eyes. So I could go on forever, but I just want to tell you guys, looking up a list of Shakespearean insults online, his plays are meant to be fun and funny. Even the tragedies and the histories, they have little interludes that are meant to be comic relief. So even if tragedy isn't your thing, if, historical events aren't your thing, big drama isn't your thing, there will always be a little bit of comedy in there for you. And they're very quotable, Also, there's a reason you shouldn't be afraid of Shakespeare, and that's because he has already, look, I took this down off the wall for you. He has already pervaded, gotta lift some weights, so much of our culture. That if you just look at some of the expressions on this poster of mine, so many of his phrases that he came up with himself, invented by Shakespeare, have already become a common part of our vocabulary. Phrases like, don't budge an inch, green-eyed jealousy. Oh, I'm getting a terrible glare. I wish you could see it better. It's calling someone a tower of strength. Laughing yourself into stitches. If it's high time to do something. I'm not going to read all of these again, but you can just see, he's not intimidating. He's already snuck into our language. Like, there's just so much. Look at good riddance, dead as a doornail, a laughing stock. We can thank him for all of those. Okay, my next tip. And this is a lifesaver. And don't worry, I'm going to show you hard copies, but you can find these online. No Fear Shakespeare. It's all right there in the title, guys. I'm not getting paid by these people, but I will say that this makes reading Shakespeare 100,000 times easier. So what they do is, and you can just Google No Fear Shakespeare online, and you can find these versions. On one page, they have the original Shakespearean text, and then on the other page they have it translated into modern everyday English. So I would recommend highly, if you are scared by the Elizabethan language, at least, you know, and especially when you're first starting out, give these a try. Google No Fear Shakespeare. It will take you to all of his plays presented like this online for free. I have the hard copies and, you know, use them quite a lot, as you can see by my Post-it notes, just because I'm an English teacher. But, you know, they make them for every single play, and I have most of them. Okay, last tip. This video is probably going long. Oh no, my collar's unacceptable for Elizabethan company. Remember, please, that Shakespeare was not originally meant to be read. Reading him is a joy because of his use of language, but they're plays. You know, they're meant to be performed for us. So there are wonderful adaptations of just about every one of his plays out there. You don't have to go out and buy them, again, like I do. Many of them are available on YouTube if you just do a search, or streaming on different apps, depending on what you have. But I especially do recommend any of Kenneth Branagh's versions. His are very, very good. But if you're having trouble comprehending what's going on in the text itself, get the movie version. Gosh, follow along in your text while you watch. His language and stage directions, everything makes so much more sense when it's on screen. Also, the Globe Theatre in London sometimes puts online wonderful modern, not modern, I shouldn't say modern, they run the gamut really, but wonderful productions of Shakespeare plays, and you can stream portions of them. Sometimes you have to pay a little bit to stream the whole thing, but those are also really excellent, and you can see them performed in the reconstructed Globe Theatre, so just like people back in the day would have. So that's it, guys. I hope I didn't go too long. I love Shakespeare. I don't want anybody to be afraid of him. So I hope these tips help. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, and till next time.